Good morning. President Hopper, Trustee Lorgan of the Maine Community College System, Trustee Littlefield of the KVCC Foundation, faculty, staff, students of KVCC, distinguished guests, good morning. Congratulations to the 2018 graduates of the Kennebec Valley Community College. Thank you, Dr. Hopper, for the kind invitation to address the graduates today on this great day of accomplishment. You should all be very proud of what you've achieved, and I'm excited to be part of your celebration. Kennebec Valley Community College has had very many distinguished graduation speakers in recent years, including U.S. Senator Angus King, U.S. Senator Susan Collins, and U.S. Representative Bruce Poliquin. This year, when President Hopper asked the faculty and staff whom they would like to have speak at commencement, they directed him to end up calling a woman who once lived in a trailer in Pittston. And that woman said yes, that would be me. Or to be more precise, it used to be me when I was growing up. In my high school days, I wasn't the most ambitious student. The high school guidance counselor told me that it didn't seem, in her words, that I was cut out for college. My initial college experience seemed to confirm her skepticism. In the first 18 months after I escaped high school, I attended 3 colleges, jumping from UMA to Orono and finally settling on UMF. I may have jumped around, but I was consistent in one thing. I never left the state of Maine. But with some years of experience and hindsight, and in honor of your graduation, because graduation speeches are supposed to give a few lessons, I'd like to share 4 lessons with you today. Growing up, one of my best friends was your own Professor Juliet Gilmet. Juliet had ambitions different from my own. She went on to earn a Bachelor of Fine Arts at the University of Maine at Farmington. Then she taught in Japan for years before returning to the United States to earn a Master of Fine Arts at Colorado State University in Fort Collins. She came home to Maine to teach all of you to be great writers. Juliet and I are still best friends, BFFs, in fact, 3 decades after we escaped Gardner High School. Her friendship means the world to me. She has supported me through the ups and downs. As you have probably recognized during your time at KVCC, the bond of friendship is vitally important to your survival and your happiness. When I reflect on this notion, friendship and the support it brings, I offer the first lesson for today's graduates. Value your friends. Stay involved in their lives. Friends are support in times of trouble, and when there isn't trouble, let me tell you, they can be a whole lot of fun. So lesson number 1 is to value your friendships. When I arrived at the University of Maine at Farmington, the 3rd college, in just a year and a half, I didn't know anyone. It was January, so it was mid-year, and as I recall, my first day didn't go so well. At lunchtime in the cafeteria, I was pushing my salad tray along the line. I was clearly anxious and not paying attention to what I was doing when I pushed my tray right off the end of the shelf and onto the floor. It crashed and made a mess, spraying French dressing everywhere. I decided from there to just head down to the Farmington McDonald's instead. Much less messy. It was not a great first day, but things did get better. Several years ago, while working here at KVCC in the TRIO program, I had the privilege of meeting many students who were anxious as I had been on that first day, the first semester, and the first year. I could relate and sympathize with their experience, and today I can relate and empathize with the relief that you are all feeling to have this big achievement behind you. One important growth experience for me while at Farmington was the day I followed my convictions and accepted a request to speak at the rally opposing the first Iraq War in 1992. Now, I knew nothing about public speaking, but I held strong feelings against the idea of that war. I had little confidence that I could make a persuasive speech and clearly explain my point of view. I was afraid someone might come over and yank the microphone away from me and say, "All right, hippie, march your wool socks and Birkenstocks back to your turquoise VW bus and hit the road." But no one did. No one yanked the mic away. No one told me to hit the road, and people actually listened. That speech at UMF all those years ago boosted my self-confidence. A few years later, after a bit more practice at public speaking, I was chosen to be the class speaker at my UMF graduation. This gave me motivation, and from there I ran for public office. I was elected to serve as a city councilor in Hallowell. I enjoyed serving my community and then decided to run for public office again. This time, however, I ran for the mayor of Hallowell and won. Public service clearly felt like my calling. I would never have found this calling if I had not moved beyond my fear at that college and my own self-doubt about public speaking. Today, I am proud to represent my communities in the Maine State Legislature, and I have the great privilege to serve as the chair of the Criminal Justice Committee. At each of these steps, I was afraid and thought that maybe I wouldn't be up to the next challenge. But I was wrong. Yes, I still do sometimes to this day find myself worrying that I will wake up from this pathway from student to state representative and find out that it's all been a dream. But so far, so good. It has been my true path. So even if you're scared or busy or just don't feel like it, always say yes to new opportunities, even if you think they're way out of your league. You will find out that you can do much more than you ever could imagine. Lesson number 2 is to always say yes to new opportunities. So that makes for 2 lessons so far. Value your friends, always say yes to new opportunities. Now there are 2 more lessons to go. Do you guys think you can stay with me for this? Okay. This next lesson is bittersweet. I loved my dad. He was my support, my inspiration, my rock. He was, in fact, the president of the Charlotte Warrens fan club. He worked very hard as a general contractor to put me through school and to put my sister through school and to put my brother through school as well. After working so hard all of his life, he was excited for his retirement. He bought a brand new turquoise Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail motorcycle and got a license plate to proclaim his new phase of life. The license plate simply said, Plan B. Plan A was work. Plan A was putting his kids through college. Plan B was going to be fun. I still have that license plate in a frame on the wall of my office. In an instant, though, things changed. My dad was hit by a negligent driver and died. He never made it to Plan B. So this leads to my 3rd lesson. Don't wait to enjoy your life. You've sacrificed a lot to complete your studies. Remember each day to live your life to the fullest. Go to the beach on a Wednesday. Go to your kids' baseball games. Visit with your friends. Make enjoyment part of your day-to-day life and not some far-off prize that may never come. Have fun at your barbecue this afternoon. You've earned it. Lesson number 3, enjoy life today. Okay, now we're up to 3 lessons. Value friends, say yes to new opportunities, and enjoy life today. Now for the final lesson. In the Maine legislature, I serve on the Criminal Justice Committee, and this has shown me what many are experiencing in Maine's county jails and prisons. Then it's often not the way life should be. As part of my committee work, I've toured many facilities that make up our criminal justice system. These facilities are over capacity, largely populated with folks who are often struggling with mental illness and substance use disorders. Oftentimes, it's the underlying condition that has led them there. In essence, we tend to lock up many who are in need of some form of treatment. And when such inmates exit the criminal justice system, it costs us dearly. Once inmates have done their time, they're coming back into our communities without their necessary treatment for underlying issues, but also we haven't provided them with the skills needed for productive employment. And so instead, many end up homeless, jobless, and back behind bars. So I've become an advocate for prison reform that includes treatment and skills development. Thank you. Now I realize that this is not an obvious vote-winning strategy. No one wants to send their representative to Augusta to appear soft on crime, when drugs do pose such a threat to our families and to our communities. But I seek to ensure that our criminal justice system is a constructive one that helps provide the mental health counseling, the drug treatment, and the education that folks behind bars need so that when they are released, back living among us again, they have the capacity to contribute and live a productive, self-sustaining life. By advocating for prison reform, I believe that I'm speaking for those in need. And you may wonder how this leads to the 4th lesson. Well, all of us, even if we're not in elected office, all of us, even if prison reform is not your thing, you all know someone who could use your support. For you, this could be speaking up for someone struggling in your neighborhood, your school, or your place of employment. Please be kind. Lend a hand, guide them to some level of support service. Leveraging the privilege of your own education and security to help others is a very important calling. Thank you. Lesson number 4 is speak up for those in need. So, that's it, folks, 4 lessons. Number 1, value and nurture your friendships. Number 2, say yes to all opportunities. Number 3, enjoy your life. And number 4, speak up for those in need. You guys made it. And I'm still not done. Congratulations to all of you on your graduation from KVCC. I hope that you will embrace your achievement here today and take these lessons forward as you go out into the world with your newfound purpose. I hope you enjoyed today and tomorrow, and the day after. Thank you and congratulations.